The Guiding Light, presented by new Extra Strength Comet, the stain-removing cleanser, now also in the plastic decorator size and the plastic bathroom bundle.
Josephine, it's a bet.
Okay, Miss Bowles. Your cleanser against my new Comet.
Mine'll win, because it gets 2 tries at cleaning that tough food stain.
Comet's so good it only needs 1 try. New Extra Strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser. Even yours.
We'll see.
Ready?
Ready. Here's my cleanser's first try.
We'll wet it and wait.
Didn't clean much, sorry to say. I'll give it a second try.
But Comet gets just 1. Wet 'em, wait again.
My cleanser still left some stain. After 2 tries.
But Comet took it off with 1 try. Comet's the stain-removing cleanser, the only one with superchlorinol. Disinfects better, too.
My cleanser lost by a mile. But I won, because I found out about Comet.
New Extra Strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser.
Morning, Bill.
Is it? It's good. Somebody likes it.
I didn't fix you any eggs or cereal. I wasn't sure you bought them.
You were right, I don't. Just coffee. Oh, Lord, would you look at that time?
Well, maybe you shouldn't go to the office today.
Look, it's our living. I can't stay home just because I feel like it.
Bill? I'm worried about your father.
You are? Why?
Well, you know, Maida and Bruce are leaving for New York very soon, and they've persuaded your father to go with him and to live there.
So?
Well, I don't think that's what your father really wants.
What do you think Papa really wants?
Well, of course, I don't know for sure, but I think he'd like it if we invited him to come and live here with us again.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, we enjoyed having him here the last time.
No, it would not be nice to have Papa living here again. That you asked me, I told you.
Why not?
Because I can't stand Papa playing guardian angel, that's why.
Doing what?
Oh, keeping watch over me. Papa wants to save my soul. If he lived here, I'd get a temperance lecture every day of the week, and that I can live without. And I told him so, too.
Bill, won't you please?
No, I will not change my mind. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yes?
Mrs. Bauer?
Yes, it is.
This is Jack Haskell.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Haskell? I've heard Bill mention you.
And I've heard him mention you a lot. I hope I get the chance to meet you sometime. Is Bill there?
Why, no, he isn't. He just left for the office.
He just left. Oh, then he's obviously going to be late for our appointment. We were supposed to meet at 9 sharp.
Well, maybe he will be a little late. He didn't feel well this morning, and I even tried to persuade him to stay home, but he wouldn't.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Bauer. I'll just wait here then.
I'm sure he'll be there soon.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Haskell.
Mrs. Dates is in the habit of using a popular cooking oil. See what happens when she tastes potatoes fried in an oil she's never tried.
Oh, they're good. They're not oily or soggy.
Because they're fried right in Crisco oil, a vegetable oil without that heavy oily taste. Here's your oil. Here's Crisco oil. Any difference?
This one is very dark. It's yellow. And this one is nice and light.
The light one is Crisco oil. How does Crisco oil taste?
It's not heavy at all. It's very good.
And your oil?
I never tasted it before. It's still on my tongue.
Didn't you know about Crisco oil?
Oh, I had heard of it. As I said, I've never used it.
Think you'll try Crisco oil now?
I really will. I like it better. I can't get over the difference.
You discover Crisco oil. It's lighter, high in polyunsaturates, an oil without that heavy, oily taste.
I didn't tell Werner what I thought, but boy, I was thinking plenty.
Do you think he's trying to get you mad?
Well, if he is, he's certainly succeeding. Can you imagine? There was no orderly around, so instead of sending for one, he sends me downstairs to pick up the frozen sections. I had to leave the operating room, and I wanted to study that operation.
Do you think he did it to annoy you?
Well, what else, Leslie? He knows I'm not here to be his messenger boy. I came here to study surgery. Why, one of these days I'm going to flip my lid with that guy. Let's not talk about it.
Fine with me. He's not exactly my favorite topic of conversation either.
How was the picnic with the nurses the other evening? Did you have fun?
No.
Why? What was wrong with it?
Well, since you couldn't come with me, I was bored stiff. But don't misunderstand. I'm glad you went home instead. How was the outdoor supper with your family?
Well, the supper was fine.
And your family?
Oh, come on, Leslie. You know things aren't right with my family. Why do you insist on talking
Were
about
you
it?
nice to your father? You said you promised your mother you'd at least be civil to him. Were you?
Well, I guess you could call it that. I even asked him how he was, although it was horribly plain and everybody just sitting around like the good old days pretending nothing was wrong. Just seemed to look worse. After a while, I couldn't stand it, so I left.
Oh, you weren't rude. You didn't hurt their feelings.
No, I always have the hospital excuse. They always believe that. But you can have that kind of family dinner. You can have it on a platter.
Ed, your family's in trouble. But don't feel too sorry for yourself. They're a nice, warm family in trouble. You've got a lot more to be thankful for than you think.
Oh, yes? Such as?
Such as a nice, warm family. And if you don't believe it, you can ask somebody who doesn't have one. Me. I'll take your family with all their troubles anytime.
Well, then I think we'll try to make a little transfer.
Have you ever heard of taking the bitter with the sweet?
Oh, yes, Leslie, I've heard of it. I'll take my mother. She's very sweet, but I can take her without my father. He's a little too bitter for my taste.
Take the whole family in. Don't chop it up. As a family, they've had many happy years, and they've given you many happy years. You don't appreciate what you've had and what you've still got. But I do, because I haven't got it. I never did.
Oh, come on, Leslie. The grass always looks greener in the other guy's backyard. You think my family's great because you've never had it. But I have it, and as a matter of fact, I'm stuck with it, so let's just drop it, shall we?
It's wash day for Jill Wade. Her wash is so big and dirty, there's only one way to get it clean.
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. A dime's worth of Salvo has more cleaning power than this much old-fashioned powder detergent. That's why for big, dirty washes...
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Miss Jordan, you have everything for the baby, even Ivory soap.
I use Ivory myself to rest my skin from makeup so it can stay young.
Won't any soap do?
Other soaps have ingredients that can stay on your face, like deodorants, heavy perfumes. Ivory's pure. Lets your skin rest from makeup and stay young.
No wonder more doctors recommend Ivory.
For babies and us.
Pure Ivory.
helps skin that wears makeup stay young.
Mrs. Bauer?
Why, yes.
I'm Jack Haskell, Bill's associate from New York. I was in the neighborhood, and I said to myself, why don't I just ring Mrs. Bauer's doorbell and get acquainted with Bill's charming wife?
Oh, this is nice. It's so nice of you. Won't you come in?
Oh, thank you.
Forgive the way I'm dressed. I wasn't expecting company.
Well, don't think of me as company, please.
Was Bill very late for his appointment with you this morning?
No. Well, maybe a little late, but then we all have our late moments. Look how late I am in getting acquainted with you. But then Bill has told me so much about you, I feel that I know you already. Do you mind my saying that?
Oh, no, of course not. Does Bill know that you were coming to see me?
No. As I said, I was in the neighborhood. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. No, he doesn't. I thought it might be a good idea if we had a nice, friendly little talk without his knowing.
Oh?
Well, the reason I say that, I'm a little bit worried about Bill.
Worried, Mr. Haskell?
Well, you know, Bill is one of the best men we have, and we think the world of him in the company, but, well, lately I feel he hasn't been quite himself.
You mean his work?
Yes, his work. Well, forgive me for asking this, but it is in Bill's own interest. Does he have a drinking problem?
Well, he mastered that problem some time ago, but...
Yes, he did mention that. And I'm afraid I feel a little guilty because I urged him to take a couple of drinks the last time we had dinner together. Did I, start something?
Oh, you mustn't blame yourself. Just having a drink with you wouldn't have started anything, but, well, Bill has problems. Ordinarily, nothing would have happened.
But something has happened, hasn't it?
Well, he's having a difficult time. Obviously, you know it, and I can't conceal it. But I'm sure everything's going to be all right.
Yes, I'm sure. With a fine wife like you behind him, I'm sure of that. Well, I hate to leave so abruptly, but I do have another one of those business conferences coming up.
Well, of course, Mr. Haskell.
I feel much more confident about Bill now that I've met you. But if Bill does have problems, well, I hope he gets them in hand pretty soon. He's one of our top men, and we want him to be back on top where he belongs. But the company has their own problems. And in today's market, well, we just can't afford to carry Bill's problems, too. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Bauer. It's been very nice to have met you.
Yes. Goodbye, Mr. Haskell, and thank you.
The Guiding Light by Ivory Soap for the Guiding Light, presented by today's Ivory Liquid, with its Young Hands formula that helps hands look young again.
This is a lovely anniversary bracelet. Madam, you'll have to remove the glove.
Must I?
Yes. What's the matter?
These hands embarrass me. They've gotten so old-looking. Darn hands. Housework's made them old-looking. Hi. Who are you? I'm Mary Miles. Here to introduce today's Ivory Liquid. Helps hands look young again. Kind of like you had a maid. Like me to do your dishes. Better than mine. Only Ivory Liquid detergent has this special formula. Young Hands formula. Creamy white. It's Ivory Mild and makes longer-lasting suds, too. Proper hand care and Ivory Liquid will make your hands look young again. Jim, I love the bracelet.
Aren't you going to leave the gloves on?
Now my hands look young again.
Don't want to cover these.
Ivory Liquid helps your hands look young again. Young again.
Westcott and 210 will not be leaving today after all. His surgery has developed some complications, and I've reported it to Dr. Parks.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, Dr. Bauer.
Yes, Dr. Werner?
We have 6 new admissions for surgery this morning. I'd like you to do their workups right away.
On all 6?
That's what I said.
But Dr. Werner, I haven't finished the workups you gave me last.
Well, that means you're way behind schedule then, doesn't it?
No, it means that I just finished scrubbing on 2 operations and just made my rounds.
Well, the 2 workups you mentioned I assigned to you last night. Since they're not completed, I see you didn't lose any sleep over them.
No, sir. I lost sleep on Mr. Rainey's peptic ulcer. He was hemorrhaging last night.
I see. Well, that leaves you 2 workups to complete and 6 new ones to get started on then, doesn't it?
Well, may I ask why I'm being honored with all the dirty work? You have 2 other interns on this service besides me.
I know how many interns I have.
Well, I'm glad of that. I thought perhaps you couldn't count above 1.
I can count on you, Dr. Bauer, because I'm the senior resident. It's your job to accept any assignments I give you. And without question, I might add.
I'm sorry, Dr. Werner, but I am human enough to question it.
What's the matter? Does the paperwork annoy you? Don't you know it's very vital to surgery to do a good workup on a patient's case history? Just as important as the knife.
Oh, yes, I do know that, Doctor. I just thought, why not give the chance to all of us interns for the excitement of the vital paperwork? I mean, why deprive all the others? Oh, hello, Dr. Jackson.
Hello, Dr. Bauer. Dr. Werner.
Dr. Jackson?
I've been invited to Clover Hospital to witness some new surgery involving an artificial heart valve. I wondered if you would like to come along with me to also see it?
Well, yes, sir. I'd like that very much. Thank you.
Well, I was including Dr. Bauer in my invitation also. Would you like to come along, too?
Oh, yes, sir. I'd certainly be fascinated. I'd love to see
I'm afraid the hospital can't spare Dr. Bauer this morning. He's a little behind in his work.
What work? Why can't you spare him?
Well, we have 6 new admissions for him to do workups on this morning.
You have 2 other interns. Let them do the admissions.
Sir, I assigned the work to Dr. Bauer.
So you assign it immediately to somebody else? Well, meet me in my office. 10:30. We'll leave from there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Dr. Jackson. Thank you very much.
It's wash day for Jill Wade. Her wash is so big and dirty, there's only one way to get it clean.
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. A dime's worth of Salvo has more cleaning power than this much old-fashioned powder detergent. That's why for big dirty washes...
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Hi. Want to know my recipe for a good moist cake? So moist, it's brimming with rich, full flavor. The recipe, Duncan Hines Cake Mix. When you pull this tab, you'll get a cake moist as homemade. See? Duncan Hines cake is so moist the crumbs cling together. So moist it's brimming with flavor. For a moist cake, moist as homemade. Remember the recipe. Duncan Hines.
Now that's the patient in 211? All right, Mrs. Hammer, the floor nurse, will be back immediately, and I'll give her the message. All right, doctor.
I beg your pardon, miss. Do you know Dr. Edward Bauer?
Oh, yes, indeed I do.
Well, I realize that he's very busy most of the time, but would it be possible for me to see him?
Oh, I'm afraid you came at exactly the wrong moment. He just left with Dr. Jackson to go over to Clover Hospital.
Oh, with Dr. Jackson. Oh, I've heard my son talk about Dr. Jackson so often. He tells me that he's a wonderful surgeon.
Are you Dr. Bauer's mother?
All right. I'm back. Thanks for holding the fort for me, Miss Jackson. Any messages?
Just one. Dr. Barnes called, and I wrote the message down for you.
Thank you.
Well, are you by any chance Leslie Jackson?
Yes, I certainly am. I'm so glad to meet you, Mrs. Bauer.
Well, isn't this nice? I've been wanting to meet you very much. I've heard Ed talk about you so much.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
I hope he said some nice things about me.
Oh, you can be sure he did. Well, can we talk for a minute, or am I interrupting your work?
Well, the work I do is pretty easy to interrupt. It's not very important work.
I think you're probably being much too modest. My sister-in-law, Mrs. Banning, was a nurse's aide, too, and she tells me that you people do a lot of the hospital's work in your quiet way.
Well, I'm sure Mrs. Banning did, but I'm afraid I'm something of a loafer. Oh, she is so nice. I'm so sorry to hear that she and Dr. Banning are moving to New York.
Well, we're all very sorry to see them go, but he's been offered a wonderful position there,
So she told me. Oh, I met Ed's grandfather here the other day. He's such a charming gentleman.
Well, there's no one quite like Papa Bauer.
Oh, and I met your husband here once, too, and, well, I guess I just like all the Bauers. You're a weakness of mine.
Oh, what a nice thing to say. Well, I'm going to have to see to it that Ed brings you home real soon so that we can really get acquainted.
I'd like that very much.
And I do hope to meet your mother and father sometime, too.
Well, I'm sure you'll meet my father. He's pretty fond of your son, but, well, my mother's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, she died when I was born.
So you never knew her?
Only indirectly, I'm afraid. Through my father's eyes. His memories.
Oh, that's... Well, I am sorry. Oh, good heavens, look at the time. I really shouldn't keep you from your work any longer.
Well, aren't you going to wait for your son?
Oh, I'd better not. I have so much to do at home, and heaven knows when he'll get back. But you have to come and visit us. I'm going to see to it that Ed brings you out real soon.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Can I give a message to him for you, or should I tell him to call you?
No, but if you would tell him that I'd like to see him as soon as possible, if he could get home for an hour or so.
Tonight?
Well, no. No, if he could come during the day, preferably. Urge him to come during the day, will you? Goodbye, dear. It was lovely meeting you.
It was nice meeting you.
And I'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Take one little girl and one canvas money bag without the money. Now you'll see how stiff, scratchy canvas like this can be made soft enough to be a little girl's nightie. Impossible? Not with the softening power of Downy. We washed a canvas nightie, then rinsed it in Downy. Nothing, absolutely nothing, works harder than Downy to get clothes soft and white. Just feel how soft Downy makes scratchy canvas.
It's amazing. It's soft as a kitten.
Now, nobody uses canvas for nighties, but if Downy can soften stiff, scratchy canvas, imagine how soft, how comfortable it will make real nighties and all your family's clothes. From now on, treat your family to the power that softens canvas, all the softening power of Downy.
I heard you just got back, and they told me I'd find you here. I have a message for you.
Oh, well, sit down and let's have it.
I can't. I need it on the floor. Your mother was here.
Mom?
Yes, she'd like you to come home for a couple of hours today, if you can.
Today?
Yes. Well, she didn't exactly say that, but I got the feeling it was quite urgent.
Oh, it must be something to do with my father again. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Well, do try to get home. I have to go now.
Oh, I hope I'm not driving you away from Dr. Bauer.
Hardly, Dr. Werner. See you later.
Well, how'd you like that heart surgery?
I thought it was fascinating. I liked it very much.
I'm sure you did. Liked it a lot more than those dull workups I wanted you to do, I imagine.
Dr. Werner, I'd pretty dull fellow if I chose workups to the latest heart surgery, wouldn't I?
And you're not a dull fellow, are you? No, sir, not a dull fellow at all. Oh. Yeah. I'm beginning to realize you're not very dull.
Well, I'm glad you're beginning.
No, as a matter of fact, I think you're just about as smart as they come. I give you a job you don't want to do, and just like that, you get out of it.
Dr. Jackson got me out of it, fortunately.
Yes, he did, didn't he? All right, Dr. Bauer. I surrender. I'm not going to fight it anymore. It's a losing battle. When you play the game this way, I haven't got a chance.
Play the game what way?
Why, you've got an assistant that any young surgeon would give his eye teeth to get. You've got Leslie, the great man's daughter. She's sweet on you. You're sweet on surgery, and Dr. Jackson's going to see to it that his son-in-law has a really sweet surgical career.
Are you crazy?
Oh, well, one thing's a cinch. You're not.
No, you are. Dr. Warner, you just quit judging other people by yourself. Boy, you're way off the track.
What? I'm misjudging you? I doubt it.
Look, I don't plan to marry anybody. Including Leslie Jackson, as nice as she is. My main interest in life is surgery. And I plan to devote my life to that, believe it or not.
You know, I find that hard to believe since Dr. Jackson can make you as a surgeon.
If Dr. Jackson makes me a surgeon, it'll be only because I have the talent to be one. And for no other reason, because I'll give him no other reason. I plan to make it on my own merit, or I don't make it at all.
You know, I almost think you're not kidding.
Well, that's good. Because then you're almost right. I'm not.
The Guiding Light has been presented by Downy, the fabric softener with the power to soften even rough, scratchy burlap. The Guiding Light, presented by today's Ivory Liquid, with its Young Hands formula that helps hands look young again.
Bam! Hands! And bam! Hands! Hands on deck! Yes! Why didn't you just stick out your hands?
These old-looking hands embarrass me. Darn housework hands look so old.
Hi!
Why, you're?
I'm Mary Miles, here to introduce today's Ivory Liquid. Helps hands look young again. Kind of like you had a maid. Like me, to do your dishes.
Better than mine?
Only Ivory Liquid detergent has this special formula.
Young hands formula. Creamy white.
Ivory Mild. Makes longer-lasting suds, too. Proper hand care and Ivory Liquid will make your hands look young again. Come on! We're playing charades!
Your hands.
Now my hands look young again.
Well, come on!
Ivory Liquid helps your hands look young again. Young again!
You know, that daughter of ours is so cute when she's awake. I really resent it when she wants to go to sleep to take time off, you know what I mean?
You don't have to deal with Amy all day long, George. I must say, I'm kind of glad when she goes to bed.
Okay. The father gets all the gravy and the mother gets all the work. Okay.
I'm not complaining, mind you.
Yep.
But it is... Oh!
Right up.
It is nice to settle down and talk to my husband every once in a while.
Right.
Well, how was your day?
It was just fine, just great. That office hums along like 60. Now that Mrs. Scott's there, I just hope that she stays. I'm very pleased with her work.
Why wouldn't she stay?
Well, I don't think her husband's very pleased with her work. He came up to see me today, ostensibly for a friendly visit, but his conversation was full of hints that he'd rather see Maggie at home.
I'm sure she won't quit. She's pretty strong-minded.
Well, Ben Scott has a mind of his own, too. Look, let's not talk about him. He depresses me. What'd you do today?
Well, I went to see Paul.
Oh, well, is Johnny still going to leave home, or has Paul talked him out of it?
Nope, he hasn't managed to yet. And I told Paul that if Johnny persists in wanting to leave home, that we'd like to have him stay here. You wouldn't mind that, would you, darling?
No, I've told you I wouldn't mind. I'm fond of Johnny.
Yes, I know. But you got kind of mad at me when we were talking about it the other day.
I got mad at you because you started blowing up those old guilt feelings that you've always had about Johnny and Paul and Robin.
Well, Johnny can stay here then.
If he wants to. All right. I still think it'd be better if he lived with Paul and Robin. But if you are sure that his presence here won't start inflaming those guilt complexes of yours all over again, then...
George, why would it?
I don't know. It's not a rational guilt. Maybe you start feeling guilty because he's living here instead of with Paul.
No. I won't.
Well, you better not, young lady, because if you do, your husband's going to get very mad at you all over again.
We took one little girl, one canvas money bag empty, and made that stiff, scratchy canvas soft enough for a nightie. Impossible? Not with the softening power of Downy. We washed the canvas, rinsed it in Downy, and it became soft enough for her tender skin. Now, if Downy softens canvas, imagine the comfort it'll bring to real clothes. Absolutely nothing makes clothes softer and whiter than Downy.
It's wash day for Jill Wade. Her wash is so big and dirty, there's only one way to get it clean.
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. A dime's worth of Salvo has more cleaning power than this much old-fashioned powder detergent. That's why for big, dirty washes...
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Peggy, come back here.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Ben, leave her alone. Haven't you done enough?
That child still thinks she's going to see Johnny Fletcher tonight.
I doubt very seriously that that's what Peggy's thinking right now, after the display you put on.
You weren't so bad yourself.
All right. You heard the child. Let's try not to argue, at least where she can hear us.
I'm not going to argue about this. I'm just going to put my foot down.
All right. Suit yourself. Now, I told her that I'd give her permission to go. Now, suppose she decides to go without your permission. What are you going to do? Beat her?
I might just take that Johnny Fletcher and throw him out a window, I can tell you that.
Oh, good. Now, you be sure and do that, won't you? You know, Ben, one of these days, you're going to lose the very thing that you've been trying to hold on to. Your daughter's love. And when that happens, you're going to deserve it.
Well, when that happens, I'll apologize for my mistake. But when we both lose our daughter to Johnny Fletcher, I trust you'll be ready to apologize, too.
What for?
Because you care more about taking care of George Hayes' office than taking care of your daughter.
All right, Ben. When you are through being ridiculous, if you ever are, just call me.
Now, where are you going?
The only place where I don't have to see you, my room.
Peggy, honey? Peggy? Come on out now and let's talk. I'm not mad anymore. I'm sorry if I got mad. Please, honey? Come on out now, please.
What do you want, Dad?
Well, just a talk. That's all, honey. Just talk.
Where's Mom?
She's gone upstairs to her room. Now, look, Peggy. I got mad, I know. But it's only because, well, I don't like to see you accepting a date with Johnny Fletcher or anybody else without consulting me first. I am your father. Have you forgotten?
Everybody accepts dates like that. Everybody.
Honey, you're not everybody. You're you. Just about the most special person in the whole world. Now, honey, it's because I love you so much.
I know, but you don't trust me. I don't like it that you don't trust me.
Honey, I do trust you. I trust you with my life. But does that mean that I have to trust everybody? See, you don't know people yet, but you will. And I think when you're a little older, you'll see I'm right.
And you're not right about John. You're just not right about him.
Oh, no. Let's not argue now. Just to show you that my heart's in the right place, I'm going to let you see Johnny Fletcher tonight, okay? Now, the only thing is, I want you to see him here at the house. Now, he's going to pick you up, right? Then I want you to entertain him here, in your own home. Fair enough? Good. I'm sorry if I made you cry, honey. It just makes me feel awful to see you cry. Don't do that again, please.
It's because you and Mom argued like that. It's just terrible when you do that.
No. Come on. Is that what has you all upset? Well, then you just forget about it. You know, your mom and I are both pretty hot-tempered. We were fighting because we disagreed about you. Because we both love you very much. You know that, don't you?
Josephine, am I seeing things?
Nope. It really happened, Mrs. King.
Comet removed that stain better with one try than my cleanser did with 2 tries.
That's how good it is. New Extra Strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser.
Now, I want to do that test myself on this other food stain. Here's my cleanser's first try.
Now, wet it and wait.
Cleaned a little bit. I'll give it a second try.
Okay, but give Comet just 1 try. Wet 'em, wait again.
How do you like that? My cleanser still left some stain after 2 tries.
But Comet clean with only 1.
And how?
Comet's the stain-removing cleanser, the only one with super chlorinol. Disinfects better, too.
Well, after seeing that test again...
And seeing Comet win...
I can't see using anything else.
New Extra Strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser.
Just sitting here at home isn't as much fun as the concert, I know, but it's beautiful out here, isn't it?
Yeah. Some night, huh?
Johnny? Are you angry that I didn't insist that Dad let us go to the concert? I know I said I would.
No. You know how you want to handle your father. Look, at least he let me see you. That's the most important thing.
Please try to understand my father, Johnny. Please.
Are you sure that you understand him?
Ben, for heaven's sake, stop spying on me.
I'm just looking out the window of my own house. Now, is that spying?
Look, why don't you sit down and behave like a sensible father?
How late does that Johnny Fletcher think he can stay here anyway?
It's only 9:30.
Only? It's dark out there.
Oh, are you afraid of the dark?
You bet your sweet life I am.
I've been trying to find a place to live that's closer near the hospital, but I still haven't found anything yet.
I wish you wouldn't try to find anything. I wish you would just stay home the way your father wants you to.
No, not a chance. No, my mind's made up about that. And I think Dad finally understands. No, there's nothing that can make me stay there any longer than I have to.
I know how hard it is for you there right now. But Robin loved you so much once. She told me so. I'm sure when she's completely recovered, she'll feel that way again.
Maybe. But you want to know something, Peggy? Right now, I just don't care whether she ever likes me again or not. I just don't care. The only thing I do care about is how you feel about me.
Johnny, you know how I feel about you.
Do I? Yeah, I guess I do. You know, Peggy, I think I've been in love with you for a long time. I just never realized it till now.
It's getting a little chilly out here. If you want to stay a little longer, Johnny, maybe you better get inside now.
Why Johnny shouldn't be told that he's welcome to stay with Jane and George for the summer.
Because I'm sure he'll like the idea, and I haven't yet given up hope that we can convince him to stay home.
Oh, Paul, I don't know why you haven't. He sat right here the other day and told you that he'd made up his mind.
So we'll unmake it.
And how do you think you can do that? You've tried and tried.
Yes, but you haven't. I don't think I can convince him anymore. But I'm pretty darn sure that you could, if you just wanted to.
If I wanted to.
That's what I said.
Paul, I have spoken to him on several occasions. Now, what do I have to say to convince you that he won't listen to me either?
I'm afraid there's a very simple reason why he won't listen to you. Because your heart isn't in it.
Oh, Paul, that is not fair.
I know. You weren't yourself when you hurt the boy. But the fact is, you alienated him. And now you have got to win him back.
Okay. How? You tell me what you think I should say. What magic word should I use?
I don't know, but you've got to find them. If Johnny moves out now, we're going to lose him all over again. Don't you see that?
And if I don't stop him, you reproach me with it for as long as I live.
I am not reproaching you. I'm just asking you to...
To do the impossible, Paul. Or maybe you'd like me to move out and Johnny can stay. Yes, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
When have I ever even remotely suggested such a thing?
Oh, you haven't. But I've seen it in your eyes. That is what you're thinking.
I am thinking no such thing. I want to hold this family together. Johnny is part of that family. Or at least he was until...
Until? Go on. Finish it. Until I robbed you of your son?
I am just asking you to try harder to win him back. Now stop being so anxious to get him out of this house and living with Jane.
Only because he is moving out anyway. At least if he's with Jane, we know that he has a nice place for the summer.
Then you won't have to be reminded every moment of what happened, will you? Hello. Oh, hello, Bert. How are you?
Paul, could I possibly see you for a few minutes today?
Are you ill?
No, it's something else. I wouldn't bother you this way if it weren't very important.
This is a lovely anniversary bracelet. Madam, you'll have to remove the glove.
Must I?
Yes. What's the matter?
These hands embarrass me. They've gotten so old looking. Darn hands. Housework's made them old looking.
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Mary Miles. Here to introduce today's ivory liquid. Helps hands look young again. Kind of like you had a maid. Like me to do your dishes.
Better than mine.
Only ivory liquid detergent has this special formula.
Young hands formula. creamy white. It's ivory mild and makes longer-lasting suds, too. Proper hand care and ivory liquid will make your hands look young again. Jim, I love the bracelet.
Aren't you going to leave the gloves on?
Now my hands look young again.
Don't want to cover these.
Ivory liquid helps your hands look young again. Young again.
Paul, I do appreciate this. I know how busy you are.
Well, I'm never too busy to see an old friend, Bert. Sit down. What's on your mind?
Well, I hardly know where to begin. It's about Bill.
Is he still working too hard?
Oh, no. No, not anymore. Paul, he's drinking again.
Oh. It's been so long, I thought surely he's...
So did I.
What's happened? Do you know?
Oh, I think you probably know about it. About Bill and Mrs. Scott. You did know.
Well, I had a pretty good idea.
It doesn't surprise me. I think a lot of people knew, and I just... what's the use of trying to keep up a family front when the whole family's falling apart?
Is it as bad as all that? I mean, surely the affair with Mrs. Scott is over now. She remarried Mr. Scott.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's over. But the state Bill's been in since.
Oh. You think he's still in love with her?
I don't know. I don't even want to know. I don't think Bill knows himself.
And how heavily is he drinking?
Just about every night when he comes home, he's had quite a bit, and sometimes... Oh, Paul, believe me, I didn't come over here just to get sympathy. Just that I've gotten to the point where I don't know which way to turn. You see, the last time this happened, I don't know, Bill was younger. He was stronger. He was able to pull himself out of it. But this time, I don't think he can.
Oh, I think he can. It's a disease with him, this drinking. But he licked it once before. I'm sure he could again.
But he needs help. And there's nobody to help him, not even me.
Why not you?
Well, we're not close anymore. I can't even make contact with him. I don't dare say one word to him about this drinking. He just snaps my head off and walks out of the house. He's so low. I'm afraid that he won't be able to pull himself together this time. One night he came home so drunk, he didn't even know who I was. He just sat there talking about how he'd had a good wife and he'd ruined her life and he'd ruined his family. He feels so guilty. Yes, the affair with Mrs. Scott is over. But Mrs. Scott has left our life in a shambles, and that's why Bill's drinking.
You think life is too painful for him to face when he's sober, huh?
Paul, you're Bill's friend, and you love him. I'm his wife, and I love him. He's heading for something terrible, and we've got to save him. We've got to save him.
It's wash day for Jill Wade. Her wash is so big and dirty, there's only one way to get it clean.
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. A dime's worth of Salvo has more cleaning power than this much old-fashioned powder detergent. That's why for big, dirty washes...
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
We took one little girl, one canvas money bag empty, and made that stiff, scratchy canvas soft enough for a nightie. Impossible? Not with the softening power of Downy. We washed the canvas, rinsed it in Downy, and it became soft enough for her tender skin. Now, if Downy softens canvas, imagine the comfort it'll bring to real clothes. Absolutely nothing makes clothes softer and whiter than Downy.
Well, it seems to me that Ed should be able to help in this situation.
Don't even talk to me about Ed.
Why not?
I think that he's the cause of Bill's drinking as much as anything else. He found out about Bill and Mrs. Scott, and he's never forgiven Bill. The way he treated him, you wouldn't believe it.
He had his father way up on a pedestal, didn't he?
That's it, of course. Of course, that's it. He just wants me to leave Bill. Leave him. Can you imagine that?
The intolerance of the young.
You know, that same night when Bill was so drunk and didn't recognize me, He also said that he'd lost his son, and he blames himself for that, too.
Is he still functioning at the office?
Only just barely. A man from his company, a Mr. Haskell, came over to see me the other day.
About Bill?
Yeah, they know about his drinking, and his work has fallen off. Oh, Mr. Haskell was very nice and very friendly, but it amounted to a warning. Bill has to pull himself together, improve in his work, or...
Well, obviously they think a great deal of Bill, or they wouldn't go out of their way to talk to you.
But if he should lose that job, if that should happen, it would be the last straw. The last straw.
And since safety is one of the essential selling features of your new car line, we have prepared a campaign to orient the public mind to the great importance of safety on the highways. Through the American Car Club, we will contact civil leaders in every community, urging them to establish local safety councils whose function it will be who will cooperate with the police in disseminating statistics about highway fatalities and instructions on safe driving habits. We suggest that these councils dispense stickers saying stop war on the highways. In line with our last meeting. No, strike that. We have prepared a pamphlet, which Mr. Baines informs me will be entitled
yourself together, Bill. When you're functioning, you're one of our best men. But you haven't been functioning right lately. You know that yourself. You can't drink and be at your best. This office is slipping. You've lost some clients. Get back on the ball, Bill. I'd hate to see us lose you.
which Mr. Baines informs me will be entitled Safety on the Highways. The tract will then be subtitled Drinking, a major cause of death. Carol, I'm going out. Well, no, if anyone calls or asks for me, just tell them that I'm at a conference.
The guiding light has been presented by Downy, the fabric softener with the power to soften even rough, scratchy canvas.